Hello friends, my name is Ravinder. So here I will be dealing the geography optional. Welcome to Edge IAS and how to score over 300 marks, 300 plus marks in geography. And we are decodifying the syllabus because we have to decode, right? Because syllabus is huge. And how geography is, geography helps in other subjects like paper 1 in GS part and paper 3 in GS 3 paper in economy. In economy, over 60% of the syllabus is being covered by the geography. And disaster management, international relation, and essay. These 5 to 6 areas covered by in the GS, that is by geography optional. In geography, for example, you are reading the GS paper 1. So whatever you are reading in the geography in the GS paper, that's entire syllabus is present in the optional. But in optional, you are reading comprehensively. Because nowadays, either GS paper or optional paper, there is no difference because they are asking irrespective of from any area. So it is not confined to particular area, right? So here geography, if you take the geography optional, for example, you are reading rivers, you are observing the plateaus or mountains, okay, any drainage system or buildings, settlements, and in daily life you are observing all these things, either electricity or digital board, whatever technology, that all come under the geography, but it different branches, but only one. So here we are conducting, because previous students also they are writing, those who are writing mains 2023 and those who are preparing for 2024, you can come here and show me your copies. I will be evaluating and whatever you are having doubt, those who are watching online or offline, just come and meet me and I will be guiding in the geography, especially optional as well as GS. And we are having test series, 12 tests, 8 individual or sectional and 4 comprehensive tests. And what are the topics to be covered in the optional, and what is our approach towards geography optional so that we can score more marks. In geography, you must have the content because it is a kind of fact substantiating points. Because you cannot change Western Ghats, you cannot change Eastern Ghat or West Coast or East Coastal Plains, because they are having certain characteristics in the evolution. So you have to write those points because you cannot manipulate the answer. And whenever you are writing, you must draw the diagram. If you are not drawing the diagram, you are losing the marks. That's it. Last year, one of my student, Womkan, he scored in 2019 48 rank, and whenever he was writing, everywhere he was drawing the diagram. Present in Himachal. So he scored over 304 marks in the optional, because it will substantiate your answer diagram and present location. For example, you are writing Bhilai steel plant or Bokaro or Durgapur or any national park. You are presenting on the information. For example, they are asking coastal land erosion. For coastal land erosion, you need not to draw the entire diagram. Just present the coast, west, east, wherever the coastal erosion mode taking place. If you take in this manner, and not only coastal erosion, try to add Indian approach and international approach. Is there any committee? Is there any convention to protect it? What are the steps taken by the government level, either state, center, and international level? If you are having this kind of approach, there is a huge scope to score more marks in the optional. And this geography optional covering environment, because in environment you are having over 40 to 50 marks range in prelims exam. To clear prelims, if you are thorough with the geography and environment, then you will be easily sailing. So 72, at least 70 to 80 marks from the geography and environment. 30 to 35 questions from these two subjects, because geography is also covering environment, right? So geography covering environment, IR part, and economy GS paper 3 and GS 1 and essay, right? So many topics, right? So these are covered by the geography optional. Here, whenever you are reading any topic, try to connect with the geography. For example, Prime Minister of India launched Gati Shakti. So Gati Shakti present in the geography, GS paper, as well as in the optional and in the economy paper, right? In the economy also present Gati Shakti, and they may ask on the government infrastructure in essay also. You can also add there, right? So I will be showing some features in the geography optional and what are the topics to be covered and what is the syllabus. And after that, I will be discussing 2-3 questions previous year and what is the approach towards the exam and how to present answer, right? So features of course in here, we are covering entire the syllabus and conceptual clarity. And here in the class, I will be giving notes as well as after class any handout if it is needed. And we are providing daily answer writing in the geography optional, and we are conducting 12 tests also here, right? Daily answer writing, what happens? So you will be practicing, and apart from the practice, and you will be adding the current affairs also in the geography part, because you have to read Down to Earth and other magazines. So what happens? It will add the extra points to your answer so that you get more marks. If you are not doing daily answer writing, and for example you are doing the answer writing 15 days or 10 days, somewhere you will be losing that connectivity. And try to do or try to practice daily answer writing we are doing here. And apart from the how to integrate paper 1 in the optional paper 1 and paper 2, you have to use in the GS geography in paper 2 Indian geography, right? In Indian geography, you try to add the GS geography paper 1 topics are thinkers, author, models, and it should not be only isolation with the only Indian geography, because the entire subject is interlinking points. For example, you are writing industrial area, try to add the Burgess, Crystallar, other. For example, you are writing about the agriculture topic, try to write Wanthun agriculture model and use somewhere wherever it is required. If you are not using these kind of models and points in the paper 2, then very difficult to score. Either you have to score more marks in the paper 1 or paper 2, because sometimes what happened, if you are more scoring in the paper 2, one of my student, he scored 173 marks in the paper 1 and he scored 132 or 136 in the paper 2. So what happened? He scored more marks in the paper 1, less in the geography and paper 2. Try to maintain that balance. If you are not maintaining that balance, then very difficult. And here in the paper 2, you have to use the paper 1 points. It is not completely, but at least to mention that thinkers, that author, what he was conveying in the industrial establishment, in the agricultural practice, Vanthonun model. If you are adding these kind of points, then very easy, right? So we will be covering the syllabus in the duration 4 months, and I will only evaluating the entire topics, right? So before it is the syllabus, in how many classes we are going to finish, physical geography, environment, other topics. Before that, I will be explaining syllabus, then we will be coming to that duration and all, right? So I will be showing anyway. Physical geography. In physical geography, we are having geomorphology, climatology, and oceanography, biogeography. For that purpose, we are having 100 hours. And apart from the hours, we are having the test also. 5 tests, and apart daily answer, answer will be provided. And group discussion is also present here, because everyone will be writing different sources. You might have 1 point, other person will be having here. We will be making cumulative information so that we can share, right? See, I will be providing the information, students will be also having. At the end of the day, we have to consolidate our answer. Our target is to score more marks. How can you score? Because saying it is not feasible, right? So collective information should be required, right? So here in physical geography, we are having 4 topics, and I will be explaining geomorphology. What are the topics under the geomorphology, climatology, oceanography, and biogeography? I am broadly mentioning here. And environmental geography, here contemporary issue. So in environment geography, what happens? You are covering the environment in GS. Environment also you are covering, right? So if you are thorough with the geography optional environment part, then that will be suffice for the GS paper also. Then human geography. This human geography present in the optional as well as GS also. Here you are reading, especially this topic is extra. This perspective in human geography, models, theories and laws in human geography. This is the extra topic in the optional subject. It is only extra topic. Other topics more or less in the GS part also present. But what again I am repeating that comprehensively, holistically you have to prepare for the optional. Any optional, if you take any optional, comprehensively you have to read. The purpose is about GS is the very limited manner. Optional is very comprehensive, elaborative information should be required. Right? In economic geography, we are having resource, agriculture, industry, transport, communication and trade. If you carefully observe, these topics present in the geography and economy also. Resource present in the economy, agriculture also present, industry, transport, communication and trade. So here paper 1 and paper 3 being covered by these economic geography, not human geography. Then social geography, settlement and cultural setting. In geography syllabus only it is present. So we are having 3 tests over that, and planning. The planning also present for the GS paper 1 and economy paper also. We are having 5-year plans, right? Those 5-year plans, what are the schemes launched by the central or the state government? What is the coordination between the center and the state? What are the achievement and failures of the central government and state government? So what are the steps taken by the government? All these we will be covering in the regional planning. Then political geography. Political geography what? It is a kind of the center state. So what are the contemporary issue in the political geography? How the paradigm being shifted सिंस 1947 टू 2023 तक क्या क्या चेंज हो रहा है हम ये भी देख सकते हैं इन पॉलिटिकल ज्योग्राफी. Then current affairs, I will be exclusively giving the information in the geography because the students is not having time. They are not having time to cover entire current affairs. What is the information required for the geography optional? And apart from the current affairs, I will be providing case study. Case study must and should in the geography optional. For example, what is case study here? You have to cover either Yojana or Kurukshetra. For example, any agriculture practice successfully running in Tumkuru district of the Karnataka, you can pick up that point and write here. What are the steps taken by that farmer and how he boosted that economy, I mean agriculture productivity. Write that point and case study and end up with. So try to use these kind of, for example, Rajasthan government, and they are encouraging water storage for facilities. So government step also you can write under the case study also. Case study nothing but any work done by the particular section of the people, any individual or government or any other country. For example, if you take the Rwanda, in Rwanda they are having women percentage more in the political system, and for that purpose there is a case study present, how the number has been increased over 40 to 50%. So you can write in the case study. For example, if women issue is coming, that you can write this, you can substantiate your point with this Rwanda point. Not only that, Bihar also encouraging, they are also they increase 50% of the reservation for women in the local level. So that local level, the planning, Panchayat Raj system also present in our geography in regional planning. You can also add those points here. Here, whatever you are reading in the newspaper, more or less that will be added in the geography, except that polity and all. Because you cannot write that case studies, the court verdicts here. If that court verdict belongs to any pollution level, for example, Supreme Court gave verdict in the case of the Goa mining, Karnataka mining, Jharkhand, that mining belongs to come under the part of the geography. So in geography case, you can write the court issues here, right? If that is necessary, then you can present that point, right? Then and what are the syllabus? NCRT and contemporary Majid Hussain Kullar I will be showing here. G.C. Liang, Savindra Singh book, Stoller, and Majid Hussain. And here you need not to read all the books. There are certain topics I can tell. I will be giving the notes. And if you are interested, then go for some books and their selective topics you can read. Right? You need not to read entire the topics here because I will be covering those topics. Right? And some magazine, Yojana, Kurukshetra, Geography and You, and down to Earth. Now, in the geography optional, we are having paper 1 and paper 2. We are having two papers. So, in paper 1, what happens? We are having 8 questions, 1 to 4 tak, section A, 5 to 8 tak, section B. In section A, in the paper 1, in first section, we are having the topics geomorphology, climatology, oceanography, and biogeography, and environment geography also added. In the section B, human geography, models, theories, agriculture. Agriculture not confined to India, it is about international level, world level, theories, right? So here geomorphology, if you carefully observe, in physical geography, geomorphology, हो गया? नहीं नहीं बंद किया, वो चल गया, वो नीचे दाब दिया था ये ना। अच्छा रुकना पड़ेगा। ये, फिर करो चाहिए। So in geomorphology, you can see here, same, you are reading in the GS part, the same topics present here, but you will be reading at least 5 to 6 theories here, but other than that nothing here. See, origin and evolution of the earth crust you are reading in the GS part as well as in the optional, but here comprehensive manner. And the geomagnetism and earth interior, volcanism, earthquake, plate tectonics, right? Either divergent or convergent or transform fault, right? And geosyncline. And these topics and denudation chronology and tsunami and landscape development, Davis model. See here, Davis model is very, very important for the geomorphology topic. And whenever you are reading this topic, try to connect with the paper 1 also, paper 1 to paper 2, if that is needed, right? Then climatology, more or less same topics like heat budget of the earth, atmospheric stability and instability, planetary and local winds. What are the planetary winds here? Like trade winds, westerlies, easterlies, planetary, global winds. They are permanent. They are permanent winds. Local winds, for example, you can say Lu or sea breeze, right? Land breeze. They are local winds. Students are confused. What is local breeze? Right? So local winds are, they are specified to or confined to particular area or particular space or place, right? They origin particular season, right? Lu, in the summertime, what happened in the North India, Lu winds are blowing. When these Lu winds are blowing over the North India, if sugarcane crop is present, it sucks the moisture of the sugarcane. Means it is going to decrease the sugar content in the sugarcane. So Lu is the local wind. So try to add these kind of things. And air mass, monsoon. This monsoon is in the paper 1 as well as the paper 2. Then mention jet streams. Jet stream topic in the GS1 भी पूछा था, मेंस में भी पूछा, मेंस में GS पेपर में पूछा था, in the GS1 में, as well as in the jet streams topic in the optional also. Right? Jet streams. What is the jet stream here? Always we are reading whether they are moving or blowing from the west to east or east to west, and who discovered these jet streams, and what is the role during the Second World War, either Japan or American, and how these jet streams are helping the Indian monsoon, and whether west jet stream is helping or easterly jet stream is helping, and what is Raspberry waves with respect to jet streams, राष्ट्रीय वेव्स में भी आपको जीएस में भी क्वेश्चन आया था, as well as in the optional also. And you can see here temperate and tropical cyclones. Temperate and tropical cyclones. Temperate cyclone means other than the tropical cyclone. Tropical area. What is tropical area? 0 degree to 23 degree and of latitude. That region, that area is tropical region. So beyond the tropical region, up to 60 degree latitude, it is the temperate region. Temperate region is having low temperature where two divergent contrasting air masses are converging. Two different contrasting air masses are converging. That's why temperate cyclones are being formed. The tropical cyclones are formed in the tropical region due to single air mass. Single. In temperate region, cold and warm. Warm and cold air masses converging. Contrasting air masses, different temperature. But in tropical, only one temperature. Not cold, only warm. And here, why cyclones are being formed in the Bay of Bengal, then the Arabian Sea? What is the reason? मेंस में आया था. Not only that, अभी क्या पूछ रहा हूं मैं आपको, क्या बोल रहा हूं, साइक्लोन्स क्यों फॉर्म हो रहा बे ऑफ बंगाल में, देन द अरेबियन सी, एंड नेमिंग ऑफ द साइक्लोन आल्सो. पहले हम क्या, व्हाट वी आर मेंशनिंग दैट वी आर गिविंग फीमेल नेम्स. क्या हुआ था, फीमेल मूवमेंट आ गया था, क्यों फीमेल नेम दे रहे हो. See, then we started male name also. For example, you are using particular community or particular people, obviously they will protest, and then we balance the female plus male name, right? And what is the organization at the international level to name the cyclones? ये भी मेंस में आया था. And what are the colors? Orange, ये पूरा आया था, ये भी क्वेश्चन आया था. So here you will be covering comprehensively types and distribution of precipitation. Precipitation alag, rainfall is alag. Rainfall is part of precipitation, right? Then here you will be reading in the climatology in the optional, except this is the exceptional, Köppen, Thornwhite and Trivarta theories. This is you are reading in the extra in the climatology. So other topics all you are reading in the GS, but it is completely optional point. Köppen, Thornwhite and Trivarta classification, and hydrological cycle you are reading GS as well as in the optional also. Then global climate change and role and response of man in climatic changes, applied climatology, this is very very important, and urban climate. Last year ये GS में भी आया था, optional भी में आया था. So here only 2 to 3 topics are extra, but other is same. That's why if you are thorough with the GS part, then this geography optional is very easy, right? Now oceanography. If you take the oceanography, what? Indian Ocean, Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, corals, sea waves, sea tides, ocean currents, right? And pelagic deposits, salinity of the ocean, temperature of the ocean, and marine resources of the ocean. All the points, whatever we are cutting, heat budget of the ocean. So these topics in the geography and same in the GS also. You are not reading any new thing. Just see, we are not having any new thing. GS plus optional syllabus is same, but again I am repeating, holistically you will be covering in the optional part. In GS part you will be writing point, here you are writing comprehensive. That's it. So अभी इसी जगह का आपको नया कुछ भी नहीं है. Oceanography ditto in the GS as well as in the optional. Then biogeography, soils formation, genesis of soil, how soil is being formed, the parent rock, what is parent rock, and what are the factors are influencing the soils, and classification of the soils, distribution of soils, why soil is being leached, what are the causes for the desertification, what is soil erosion, and how many types of soils are present in the country, right? And at the global level, how many types of soil present, and what is the link of the Indian soil and the global? Is there any similarity between the Indian as well as the world soil? Is there any particular classification for that soil? And what are the steps taken by the government of India to control desertification and soil erosion? Right? ये क्वेश्चन आपको साइल ऊपर आया था, and this will very very important. And social forestry and agroforestry. What is agroforestry? For example, if you take particular field, there you are practicing agriculture plus forest also, right? So agriculture plus forestry, you are cultivating particular field, that's why you are calling agroforestry. Agro bolo to agriculture, forestry bolo to forest. So at a time you are doing two practice. It is long term, forestry for the long term, agriculture for the short term, for food security purpose. And wildlife major gene pool center. So here environment is also covered. Again environment geography you can see here, right? Here ecology, principle of ecology, and human ecological adaptation, influence of man on ecology and environment, and environmental degradation, how you are conserving the environment, biodiversity, and environmental policies, and environmental hazards and remedial measures, environmental education and legislation. So you are not only reading these topics, the environment syllabus which is in GS, that will be also covered in this environment geography, right? So for example, now you are having in India, Namibia cheetah is present, right? The Namibia cheetah recently, today also one more cheetah died, total 7 cheetah died. And what are the reasons why they are dying, why they are not habituating or adopting this local condition? Even though they belong to tropical country, Africa, India belong to tropical country, and that is also Madhya Pradesh in the peninsular region, tropical region, but still they are dying. Why government of India is not adapted the Iran cheetah, and how this cheetah extinct in India, right? What are the steps to be taken to cover or conserve this cheetah in the country? And what is the in situ conservation or ex situ conservation? For example, you might have seen that Namibia cheetah, I mean government, at the government level, we have the agreement, right? Now the cheetah which brought from the Namibia to here, whether it comes under the in situ conservation or ex situ conservation. Then what is in situ conservation and ex situ conservation? In situ means original place you are saving or you are conserving particular species, original place. In ex situ conservation, for example, garden, you created it and you brought the plants, animals from the different place, and you are making or conserving here. That's why we are calling that is ex situ conservation. So Namibia is the African continent. Sorry, this cheetah, Namibia cheetah is the Africa. You are bringing here, means it is not original place of the India. That's why we are calling ex situ conservation. एग्जाम में पूछ लेगा, क्यों बोलो तो हमें पहले 2-3 बार मेंस प्रीलिम्स में पूछा थे नमे चीता ऊपर, ठीक है? देन environment geography, then human geography. Here in the optional part, human geography is extra part, other thing, otherwise same to same. Human geography, you can see here perspective in human geography. So the geography, those who are taking, you will be having the perspective in human geography extra topic, like areal differentiation, regional synthesis, dichotomy, quantitative revolution, qualitative humanistic geography, radicalism, behavioral geography, right? Other topics are present, 8 to 10 topics, almost 2 to 3 pages information. If you are thorough with this 8 to 10 topics, there will be 2 questions from these 2 topics. 8 to 10 topics you have to read, 30 to 40 pages information from this 2 question, 100%, right? Then economic geography. In economic geography, you will be reading in the GS as well as in the optional. But here optional, we will be reading economic geography international level. For example, you have seen that 2021, there was a question in the GS, right? Global level iron and steel industry, right? How iron and steel industry at the global level. So if you are thorough with the optional part, you can write those points in the GS also. Many students, those who are not having optional part geography, they missed it because they confined only to India. The question is, they didn't ask that iron and steel industry. They asked just iron and steel industry. It doesn't mean that only India. You have to present India as well as the global. One level you have to mention. If specifically mention that write about the Indian iron and steel industry in India, then you have to write only India. But they didn't mention that iron and steel industry, only India. So students missing these kind of points, concept in the writing answer, attempting the question. First try to understanding the point and topic, then read the question. If you are not having the quality information content, then very difficult to present your answer, right? So after that, economic geography, here mostly agriculture, nutritional problem, food and nutritional problem, food security, famine, causes and remedies, and world industries, and agricultural pattern. What is agricultural pattern? For example, earlier we are practicing more rice and wheat. Now we shifted to sugarcane. Commercial crop, right? Now we are practicing other crops. Every stage, after 10-15 years, the crop will be replaced by other crop. Then it is called agricultural patterns or crop patterns, right? So here you can write. Then population and settlement geography. So settlement, for example, you might have seen that if you take any city, the buildings are present or the block is present either rectangular or square shape, and there will be after 15 to 20 or 20 to 50 houses, and the block will be ending and road will be converging. So what kind of settlements are present? Either horizontal or vertical, or star shape, rectangular shape, square shape, triangle shape. These kind of points you will be writing in here, right? So this is all about population and settlement, and GS plus optional part present here. And regional planning and 5 years plans we are having. Some theories also present, growth pole theory. The growth pole theory, how we are using in the context of the regional planning, and models and theories. And these models and theories very, very important here. Like, we are having Malthusian, Marxism, demographic transition model, central place theory, Christaller, Losch, Perrox, Baudeville. This models and theories topic, you have to read 100%. At least 4 to 5 questions from only this topic. This is very prominent. This topic is having very prominent in our geography. Models, theories and laws in human geography. And one-to-one model in agriculture, Weber model. This Weber model, for example, GS student, those who are writing Weber model, industries you are using, there you can use Weber model. Just use as per the or according to the Weber model, industries are established like this, like this. You will be getting definitely 0.5 mark extra. You need not to explain entire the things, even GS student also, right? Weber model for the industrial location, Ostow model of stages of the growth. We are having 5 stages. You can also write here heartland and rimland theories. For example, earlier we were thinking that Russia is very dominant, right? Dominant in Russia is more powerful. Then the power shifted to the Western countries, Europe and America. And now the power is shifting to the Asia, especially China, right? China, Japan, India. So always the power is being shifted between the countries, right? Because economy power, army power, military power dominating at the global level, apart from the trade and other things. So here these two theories talks about the political power, military power, economic power. It is very easy, you can show in the diagram form. And international boundaries and frontiers. What is boundary? Boundary is separating between the two countries. For example, Indian boundary, India boundary and Pakistan boundary. McMahon line, China and Radcliffe, right? The boundary separates. For example, if two brothers are there, they will be having boundary between their land. Means they are separating. Frontier is not separating. Frontier is connecting. Frontier means it is connecting. For example, any lake is present between the two lands. So these people can use for the fishing purpose, and other side people also can use the for fishing purpose. So both the side people can use that lake. You cannot demarcate. If you want to demarcate, how can you demarcate on the water? Just imaginary line, right? So here boundaries are always, this topic is very, very important. Boundaries and frontiers, more than 15 times in the exam, right? Frontier, just understand the point, the word. If you understand the word, then very easy. Boundary is separate between the two countries, two region or two continent, right? Then frontier is the connecting between the people, right? So you must understand. We can have here also, we are having some theories we will be learning in the class. Then syllabus of geography paper 2. Here geography paper 2, geography India. So it is entered the syllabus of the Indian geography. Here in Indian geography, we are having physical setting, mountains, monsoon, western disturbance, tropical cyclone. Tropical cyclones we will be reading in the paper 1 as well as paper 2 also. Then floods, droughts. So disaster management also here covered, soil types, vegetation and other topics in the physical setting. So you are reading in the GS as well as optional also. So both topics are same. There is no change, but you will be adding some more information in this context of physical setting. And resource, land, surface, groundwater, minerals, biotic, abiotic. So tell me, what is biotic and abiotic factor? Biotic means which is having the life, living organism. Abiotic means they are not having the life. For example, temperature, wind, soil, they are abiotic factor. Try to understand the basic point, right? Then forest, wildlife, resource and their conservation, energy crisis and all. Agriculture you will be reading in the GS paper 3 as well as GS paper 1 as well as in our optional subject also, agriculture. Then industry. Industry also GS paper 3 as well as paper 1 GS optional, same. Almost all topics in the paper 3 topics and paper 1 topic and optional is same. There is no change, right? If you are thorough with the geography paper 2, you will be able to attempt the paper 1 GS and paper 3 GS 3, right? So transport, communication, road, railway, trade policy also, export, import, special economic zone, national manufacturing zone and other things, right? Cultural setting, here also like you will be writing in the our languages, tribes, tribal people, their ethnicity and what are their practice, agriculture practice, jhum cultivation, right? So number of, especially northeast region, Andaman and Nicobar region, what kind of agricultural practice they are doing, you will be reading all this here. And inter-regional, intra-regional, right? Settlement topic is in paper 1 as well as paper 2. In paper 1 you will be reading at the global level, in settlement at the Indian level. इंडिया लेवल में हम ये पढ़ेगा, उधर हम ग्लोबल लेवल में पढ़ेगा. Regional development, we are having the paper 1 as well as paper 2. Paper 1 में global level, here Indian context we have to confine, right? Then political aspect क्या है here? So how we are having, it is confined to IR part, international relation, like we are having SARC, ASEAN, NATO. Recently the NATO asked India to join in the NATO membership, but हमें reject कर दिया. क्यों बोले तो we are having the good relation with the Russia and China. If we join NATO, then Russia will be they will not accept, because in NATO group what happens, if any country attacking a particular country means you are attacking entire the country, so then they will be attacking the particular country. That's why we did not join in the NATO. And SARC countries, BIMSTEC, है ना, Shanghai Cooperation, and different organizations are present. That organization, how they are interlinking with the Indian context, you have to write politically, socially, economically, culturally, and what are the irritants, what are the issues in that. Okay, try to add these kind of points. Then contemporary issues present those topics which are in burning, so you can write, for example, floods, हिमाचल फ्लड्स हम कंटेम्पररी इश्यू में लिख सकते हैं ना, करंट टॉपिक्स में हम लिख सकते हैं ना, है ना. देन इकोलॉजिकल इश्यूज, देन एपिडेमिक, ड्रॉट्स, फूड सिक्योरिटी, ऑल दिस इश्यूज वट एवर द इन द कंटेक्स्ट ऑफ द न्यूज़पेपर में जो है आप इधर लिख सकते हो, है ना. देन so these are the some of the syllabus in the geography. So after that I will be taking one question, then we will be finishing that, right? Any doubts? Those who are having online, watching online students, you can give your explanation here, right? So here I will be taking one point. One topic before that, concentric zone model. This topic is very important. So this topic almost over 10 times in exam, concentric zone model. So what is concentric zone model? And before that, before dealing this concentric zone model, I will be discussing previous year question, then we will be attempting this topic, right? Then मेंस क्वेश्चन आया था, एक बार आप देख सकते हो. फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज explain and illustrate the models of internal structure of, what they are asking, models of internal structure of cities as proposed by Burgess, and Hoyt mention also the limitations of this model. They are asking their explanation as well as limitations of these models. And second question, examine the various theories concerning the internal structure of cities. Again, you can see here internal structure of cities, and discuss how far they are applicable to Indian cities. I was explaining that any theories, whether any optional, whatever the optional proposed by that author, try to connect in the Indian context, whether it is applicable to India or not. In case it is applying, what are the shortcomings, what are the positive and negative, what steps to be taken to improve the theories also, that theory particular. So here internal structure, and he was asking he did not mention about the Indian context, but here asking the demand of the question, how far they are applicable to Indian cities, right? Then third question, bring out the sequential improvement of models in models of city structure by E.W. Burgess, Homer Hayat, and Harris and Woolman. So there are three theories are present. We will be learning one because that is the heart of the internal structure of the city, right? So in the concentric zone model, we are having like, uh, 5 zones we are having. Five zones we are having, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 zones we are having. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these 5 zones, because the establishment or development or growth of the city from the inside to out means here inside the land value is high, and whenever you are moving from the 1 to 2 to 2 3, then you are moving, right? You are going from the inside to into out, the land value is decreasing as per the author. Of course that is true also. If you take the internal city of the city, the land value is high, and he mentioned this in the concentric zone model. It is also called ecological theory of city structure. City structure, right? So in ecological theory of city structure or concentric zone model, he propounded 5 zones: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And first zone is the CBD. What is CBD? Central Business District. For example, if you observe Connaught Place is the best example for the central business district which is developed by the Britishers. In CBD, the land value is high. All recreation offices are present, banking, insurance, political, and other things, and traffic, congestion, pedestrian, right? So everything is present in that place. Sir, still it is being observed in that place. Of course, to some extent it is deteriorating, because whenever congestion is more, other suburban regions being developed by the central and the state government. In Mumbai, what happens? The congestion traffic is high. That's why suburban area developed. Right? In the same way, the CBD is having all the major activities in the central level. It is also called like downtown area. Downtown means old city. Right? This central business district, people are having huge money. They are having more surplus money. Economy is prospering. And these people are having big buildings, and they are ready to pay to the tax to the government. And their accessibility. Here, if you take this city, all routes radiating towards the center. All roads are radiating towards the center. Accessibility is more, and taxpayers are more. Business activity is more at the central place. In the CBD, Central Business District, or you can say downtown or old city. Right? In zone 2, transition zone, here the area, zone 1 to you are moving zone 2, the value of land will be come down. It is like blighted zone, burning zone. Here, this is the transition zone. In transition zone, people are, why these people are present in the zone 2? The reason behind that, they cannot offer transport charges. That's why they are very close to the city. They provide service, especially labor service to the zone 1, CBD. And zone 2 is also having the light industries. Very light industry present, and slums also present in this area, CBD. You might have seen that slums present in the zone 2 area. And E.W. Burgess said that zone 2 people are not having money, but they can buy the land in the zone 3 and they build their homes in the zone 3. How it is possible? When they are not having the money and they are not able to build their home in the zone 2, how they can build their home in the zone 3? And he did not explain. That is also we can write in the criticism part, right? And in the zone 2 is having light industry. Nowadays, if you carefully observe now, because of central government here, Supreme Court direction, National Green Tribunal, whatever the industry present in the zone 2, directed them just evacuate from this place because it is causing air pollution and causing death of the people also, right? So now zone 2 is also losing its relevance here. Then zone 3, here workmen present. Why they are present? Because they are very close to zone 2 and they are built in India. Zone 3 is more suitable. This zone 3 is more suitable. It is a planned flats, right? Here heavy industries are present. In zone 2, light industry. In zone 3, heavy industries are present. Try to understand. And author said that zone 2 people are buying and constructing their land in the zone 3. So here very difficult to explain, right? Then zone 4, better residence. Here especially middle class people, upper middle class people, government employees, salesmen, other people are presented and they build their home in the proper manner. Here that's why it is having better residence purpose. They also do their economic activity in the zone 4th level, right? So here zone 4th people very close to the zone 1, but here affordability, transport charges more for them. Zone 4th better residence. And zone 5th commuters zone. Actually the commuter zone, the word seems to be like, commuters. Actually these people are having huge money because earlier they are present in the zone 1. Now what happened? They are ready to offer the transport charge also. But zone 2 people they cannot offer. That's why they are very close to the city. But when it comes to zone 5, they are ready to offer because they are having huge money. They have their own lands or villas, right? I hope you are understanding. And the zone 5th people, they separate, isolated area they are present because they want to enjoy their life in their particular place. That's why they are very close to, they are very far from the zone 1. They are ready to bear the transport cost also. They don't mind, right? Now, this author says the city in the circular manner, concentric manner. So, you might have seen that some cities in circular manner, but all the cities are present in the circular manner. It's very difficult because if you take the Mumbai here, this side sea is, Arabian Sea is present. So here sea is constraining because this Mumbai cannot penetrate into the water, right? Because water is a limiting factor there, right? So water is limiting factor, and author says in the circular manner, very difficult. City may be in square, rectangular and other forms also, right? So the author, whatever he said in the criticism, we can write that it is not always possible in the circular, other form also. And author said that the city is more focused on the trade and commerce. So what about the industrial activities? He neglected industrial activity also. And he mentioned that zone 2 people are not having money. Fine. But how they are buying land in the zone 3? He did not explain. That is also one of the shortcoming. And the land value high in the central area. Of course, that's true. But what about the buildings or home present along the roads, national highways? Along the national highway also, the land value is huge. Right? So he did not mention. What about the topographical factors, undulating factors? Sometimes ups and down terrain is present. Pond or lake or river, these kind of present. So there you cannot build the homes or in circular manner, or you can make in the star or rectangular or square, other shapes. Right? So he did not explain these things. You must understand this point. Right? So criticism, you can write some of the point. If you carefully observe this concentric zone model, in India, you can see here 1, 2, 3 central business district, and at the central level tall buildings are present. Tall buildings, then transition, then independent workmen, then better residence, then commuter zone. Right? So you can see in the picture form also. Then see how they are decreasing. Tall buildings, transition zone, light industries, independent workmen's home, then better residence, commuter zone. They are having huge building, commuter zone you can see here. They are ready to bear transport cost also here. So some of the things in the EW Burgess, very simple topic. If you are thorough with these stages, right, and what are the points mentioned by the author, then whatever explained by the author, and from that take some criticism part, so that you will be able to attempt the question. Right? Any doubt here? You can ask me. So this is all about the decoding the syllabus of the geography. And if you are having any doubt, please come to the institution. I am ready to explain the whatever the things here. Right? I hope you understood the syllabus. Right? And if you come up with the any topics or any your information, I am ready to help you here. Thank you all.